This episode is brought to you by the fabulous members of the You Run Podcast Network, all available at yourunpodcast.com.
You want to die tonight?
The dad jokes he tells sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. But you run podcasts.
Best score ever.
I do like the score for this movie.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And we're your hosts each and every Monday as we take you through a horror movie that you have chosen on our Instagram polls. Today we continue our merry stroll through the Nothing Terrible Happens month as we look at Cruel Summer. This is the month where we gave you lots of ridiculously gory and horrible movies to pick from, and just subjected to us to balance out what happened in July. That it is the month, looking back now at the listing numbers, is the month that we will never speak of.
Yeah, well, I tried to tell you, man. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Let's just put it to bed and leave it there.
Yeah, I think time will tell. Over time, that will be our biggest month of all time.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. We've got a fabulous episode lined up today, complete with a very special guest. We will be kicking things off with a short synopsis, as we always do, before we give you a more comprehensive look at the film and what us and our guests thought of it. Later on in the episode, we're going to get your voices heard as we dive into some of our voicemails. We do caption this before playing a game of Broken Spirit 2.0 and see if our guest can find a spot on the leaderboard, especially as her co-host of her show currently sits in second place, a disputed, cheated second place, but nevertheless a second place spot.
I was on her show a few weeks back now. I'm sure the episodes come out around a similar time. It didn't go very well for me, I'm going to be honest with you. They were very, very mean. So she'll be getting no help from me this evening.
From memory, there was a question specifically about Jaws that appeared on that episode. Don't know how that got there.
Oh, right. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Our guest has appeared on the show before, but not for 2 years, and it does not feel like 2 years. Last time she was here, Mark decided he would be sick note and wasn't here. So she actually come on and co-hosted the episode because Mark decided he was taking the night off to, I don't know, lay in bed and touch himself. I was trying to work out the other day. I know what I said on the air, but I can't remember if that was the actual reason you weren't here. I'm sure it was like you'd had a hard week and you were tired or some shit.
I don't usually make up an excuse until the day after. I'm either here or I'm not. And you're left wondering where the hell I am until I get in touch the following day, usually. You
have done that to me a few times where it's like, oh yeah, you're recording tonight. Yeah, I'll be there. And I'm sat here like 9:30 going, hello, anyone there? Nothing. I'm like, do you know what? He's not coming, bollocks. Anyway, our guest is a fabulous horror creator in her own right, despite being on a podcast as well. Her own page is incredible with lots of reviews and lots of deep dives into horror. She has very strong opinions and, much to my dismay, quite often agrees with Mark. So if Mark and her are in agreement and it's different to mine, this is going to be a very much everybody pick on Scott episode.
My favorite episode.
Your favorite episode. So get ready to hear Mark and our guest beat me into submission if they disagree, and give a huge welcome to the girl of the Girl and the Gay podcast, the incredible Becky. I can't do any more of that. We'll get copyright stricken. Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Last time you were here, as I said, Mark wasn't. So if you want to berate Mark or pick on him now, feel free.
Yeah, nice to actually see you, Mark.
Hi, welcome to the show. The actual show. Now I'm here anyway.
Yeah, and anyone who's watching on Spotify or YouTube, you will see that Mark is in a smaller box than me and Becky. It's a technical issue. We can't work out why. He's just.
I don't know. I feel like you've done it on purpose to like demote me for the episode.
So for the rest of the episode, we're just going to call you Little Mark.
It feels weird, I'll be honest.
Later on in the show, Becky's going to tell you all about her show and all about her page and where you can find her and everything else. But for now, we're going to dive into a movie. We're taking a look at a movie that has one of the most creative serial killers ever, as he unleashes a second wave of traps on an unsuspecting group of, are they bad people? Bad people in inverted commas, like, you jaywalked once, therefore I will rip out your eyeballs. Like, they're not hardened criminals at all.
I mean, there is a certain point in this movie where I even question whether they are, because the whole objective of them being there is because they were set up. And it's like, well, did you actually do anything wrong to justify you being here in the first place? Then
I had questions.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I honestly think they were all innocent because they were all framed by the detective. Anyway, expect gore, expect surprises, a ridiculous amount of fast cut MTV music video style editing that honestly drove me mad. And we're going to take a deep dive into the needle pit that is Saw 2.
3 hours from now, the door to this house will open. Unfortunately, you only have 2 hours to live.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt watching this movie.
The strangest thing about it is I used to remember loving Saw 2. I used to always watch 1 and 2 back to back. I had them on DVD. It was like the only 2 that I actually did own, and I was like, I used to watch them all the time. And I loved it. At least I remembered loving it. I don't like this movie very much.
I don't know if I dislike it. I think it's one of those things that in the early 2000s, this hit everything. It had that sort of matrixy green gloss to absolutely every color palette. And it had all these like wild MTV cuts that were like, that's how music videos were. And it kind of just, it worked. And now watching it in 2025, I'm like, what is this? Why is everything green?
I felt the same. But like you, Mark, I remember, I'm sure I loved this and thought like it was one of the best sequels, because obviously I loved the first one. But yeah, watching it back, I'm like, not so much.
No, it's not held up very well, and that's one thing that I've noticed about watching a lot of these movies. I've only seen part 3, I think, is the last one that I watched. I tried doing them last year and going through to get caught up for Saw X, and I tapped out at 3. I mean, I finished 3, but like everything that's terrible about this movie in terms of its MTV style editing and weird color palettes and stuff is just amplified by a million in part 3 to the point where it's actually unwatchable. If you have epilepsy, do not watch the Saw movies because the editing and transition throughout is just mind-bogglingly painful.
Yeah,
especially that. Sorry, at the start when the cops are like about to go in and find Jigsaw, it was just the swooshing and the chopping, changing, and the janky camera work. I was just like, it was hurting my eyes.
See, one thing that's annoying about this movie is like they did it really well in the first one. James Wan did this thing where, because of the limited budget they had, when it come to a lot of the traps and the kills and the gore, they used that fast transition editing sequence to amplify adrenaline, but also hide a lot of the fact that they couldn't really execute the practical effects very, very well. And it was hidden really well doing that in the first Saw movie. But then whoever followed on after this, I can't remember the name of the director that took over, he sort of incorporated that into pretty much every single scene that was like high octane or required a little bit of tension. It's like you're utilizing the camera trickery for the wrong purpose, and then it just became a gimmick for the franchise from that point on. I don't know whether it dies down in later movies. I've seen Saw X, and it certainly isn't there. But again, part 3 just goes nuts with it, and I was like, yeah, I'm done now. This is not enjoyable for me.
One thing I think the Saw franchise do very well, and this movie is the perfect example of that, is they know why people come to a Saw movie, and they open with a trap. And I've got to say, this is one of my favorite traps in the entire franchise. This Venus flytrap with all the pins inside.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that, like, many people will argue Jigsaw doesn't kill anyone, which is bullshit. He's a serial killer. There's no if, buts, or maybes. He puts people in these situations. This one is an out and out kill. He does not give that man enough. He gives him 60 seconds to remove a key that he surgically implanted behind his eye. Like, he doesn't even have time to process that information before that thing fucking snaps shut on his head. But it's a great trap.
Yeah, and it's in homage to the opening of the first one, which was the reverse bear trap. And this time we get the bear trap. But again, like you said, let's just talk about it now and get it out of the way in terms of Jigsaw being a killer or not being a killer. In this movie, he outright kills all of the SWAT guards coming into his premises with booby traps and electric walls and all the rest of it, and then goes on to give a speech about how I don't kill people. I'm like, dude, you just killed 4 police officers coming into the building. I'm like, you were responsible for their deaths. Not only that, but the actual whole premise of this entire movie is his doing. He's imprisoned people in a building that he is filling with gas that is literally slowly killing them. He is responsible for that. Like, it's not a case of, well, they could have escaped. I'm like, but that's not the point. That doesn't make it okay. It's like if I pointed a gun at somebody and pulled the trigger, it's like, well, I'm not a killer. He could have dodged it. It's like, come on.
See, I don't feel that it was ever set up so they were going to escape, because like every antidote they got to, like the girl that put her hands up, like it was obviously stuck. Face up. So when she pulled it, I mean, how would she have got that off without releasing it?
Well, to be honest with you, pretty much basic logic would have saved her life in that moment, because once she put her first hand in, she could have just pressed it up and pulled her hand out. She was stupid enough to put the second hand in. I think that's the worst trap in this movie, in all honesty. And I think that's because I looked at it at a logical standpoint. And I'm like, you know what? You actually deserve to be here.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Jigsaw's justification for all of this
Cancer.
It is.
But he actually said, like, this is where budget Mark Wahlberg
Dominic.
Download the Timu app and shop like a billionaire.
New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, Timu boy. He challenged Jigsaw. He's like, it's because you got cancer, and Jigsaw's like, no, I was in a car crash, and like I really precious life after us. So just you had that experience. Now you have the right to go. Everyone needs to experience a near-death experience to appreciate what they have. I'm like, fuck off. He's so self-righteous, but he is an incredible baddie because he's such a dick. And he's deliberately a dick. And for that, I really like the Jigsaw character where he's like, well, you've been in trouble for beating a suspect before. I have your son trapped. Maybe you'd like to unleash some of that unrelenting justice now. And I'm like, oh, you're such a prick.
Yeah,
I like it.
The thing is, as well, I think Saw X massively damages these movies upon a rewatch, because he is an intimidating bad guy throughout the first portion of this franchise. But when we watch Saw X, he's portrayed more as like
Hero.
A hero, you know, and you have that warmth to him, and you have that backstory that goes with it that makes you like him as a person. Going back now and watching Saw 2 with that context kind of ruined it a little bit for me.
Yeah, because it's taken away that he's not the villain anymore. I know him as the guy who got screwed over on a cancer treatment, but even so, like, these people don't deserve to be here.
No. And to be honest with you, I don't really like the stuff that's going on in the house. The most interesting element of this entire movie is the back and forth between Jigsaw and Detective Matthews. I would have taken a full 90 minutes of just those two in that room, to be honest with you. Every time it cut away to the house stuff, I was just like, I'm not really on board with this.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the whole group dynamic.
No, I didn't like any of the characters.
No one was likable.
No, and the traps and everything that come along with it was very, very underwhelming. And again, I don't know if that's something that comes with context, because we know how elaborate these get as the rest of these movies go on. But again, the first film wasn't very elaborate. The second film, when I watched it in succession when it came out, was more than what the first was, but now it feels very underwhelming going back and watching it again, knowing what this franchise goes on to be and how crazy and how wild things do get. When you're watching this one, you do feel very underwhelmed by a lot of the stuff that's playing out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The furnace and the needle pit to me were all so tame compared to what we see in other films. And that first trap at the start of this one, it just went downhill after that.
The furnace is the one that aggravates me the most. So they open that big door and he looks down the furnace and he can see two antidotes hanging. One of them's hanging on a string. One of them is hanging on a chain. Directly behind them is the valve that says the devil or whatever.
It says turn me.
Yeah.
It's a devil, yeah.
So when he opens that and he looks in, he can see all of those things in front of him. Then he climbs in. Then he pulls the first one. Then he pulls the second one. He's seen the valve. He saw it when he stuck his head in there. And instead of grabbing it, he decides to burn to death inside. And I'm like, you are a fucking moron. How did you not see that, Obi? Like, how did you miss it? That one annoys me a lot. The needle pit is the most horrific trap ever. There'd be no fucking way if someone threw me in that, I'd be digging through it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I really love what Shawnee Smith does in that scene. I think she handles it very, very well. The sheer terror on her face, the panic, and the time it takes for her to gather herself before she just goes full savage. I think she's brilliant in that moment. I don't particularly like the Amanda character, but I do really like her in that moment with the needle pit.
Yeah.
Saw fans are coming for you.
I don't get it. I don't like her. I didn't like her in Saw X either. She's even worse in Saw 3. Like, I hated her in Saw 3. Every time she was on screen, I couldn't stand it. Is that the one where Kramer's on the bed, isn't it? And he's like, he's got like the neck thing on that nurse and stuff. Yeah, that's the last one I've seen. I hate it.
Yeah, where are you with Amanda, Becky?
Don't care enough to.
That's it. There's nothing about her that stands out to make you care, is it?
No, I'm not. I don't love her. Don't hate her.
Well, fuck both of you. I really like her.
Why?
There are a master and an apprentice.
Like, I really like the dynamic she has with Jigsaw. Not so much in this film, but in the later films. I like the fact that she is the apprentice, and the reveal in this that she is his apprentice is fucking brilliant. Like the twist in this, I think, are really well done. And I think the writing in this is very clever. So the writing at the beginning where he's like, all I want is your time. Sit here with me for 3 hours and your son will be absolutely fine. Like that, and the payoff for that at the end is like fucking genius. Like that is great. The Amanda reveal, I think, is brilliant. And I actually like the way that all of the games are linked together, where if these people weren't such big assholes and they'd have spent 5 minutes in that opening room and gone, the combination's on the back of our head, in the back of our mind, and just taken 2 minutes to go, have you got anything on the back of your head? Like, they'd have opened the safe, given themselves the antidote, and the game would have been over. Like, I like the writing of that it could have ended really, really quickly, but it doesn't.
But that's the thing, though. That's what's annoying about it. There are so many things about this movie that rely on certain outcomes for them to come to fruition. It's mind-boggling when you pay attention to it. Like, say if Detective Matthews had stayed there for that hour, his son would have come out, Saw would have gone to jail. He had to get Matthews to blow up like that and take him to the house at the end of the movie for Amanda to trap him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then the whole outcome of the house with everybody killing each other and going into these saw traps, that all had to happen like that. How can you possibly foresee something going so perfectly and so smoothly the way that he did? I mean, the first movie is digestible. Yes, that they're trapped in a room, there's nowhere to go. He's just there. What will be, will be. But this is so elaborate, and so many things rely on so many other things in a domino effect style in order for it to happen the way it does. But it's not even like anything derails at any point and goes off course. Everything literally happens as it should happen for everyone to be where they need to be by the end of the movie.
It's all very convenient.
Very convenient.
Well, it's not, though, because he is a wizard.
Gryffindor!
What is going on with his robe? And honestly, I'm going to release a meme when this episode comes out. It is a Gryffindor robe. It's exactly the fucking same. Black outside, red lining. And when I spotted
That's
it on
what they
this
wear,
clock,
isn't it?
yeah, that's what they wear in Hogwarts. 100%.
Yeah, but Amanda wears it as well when she's got the pig mask on and stuff.
I know. So they're both Gryffindors. Like, I saw it and spotted it, and I honestly couldn't stop laughing. When I spotted it, I'm like, oh, it looks so much like it. Straight to Google. It's like, it is. It's a Gryffindor robe. They both went to Hogwarts, and that explains all the plot holes. It's magic. Like, it boggles my mind, like some of the things in this movie, though, like the inability of the police to do their job, apart from Dina Meyer.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah,
She is. Oh.
We're a big fan of Dizzy on this show.
Huge fan. Dizzy in this is great. I think Dina Meyer's an incredible actress, and I think she's massively underutilized in the Saw franchise. They had a great actress who is a bit part, and instead they went, do you know what? Donnie Wahlberg, he's the man. He's the man. We're going to pin this on. I'm like, but why? It's Donnie Wahlberg.
She gets a bad rap in the franchise, though. She's in the first one for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She's in this one, and she's a bit of a mainstay, but she doesn't get to do anything. And then she comes back for the third one, and is that the one where they kill her? Like, straight away? She gets, like, flayed and her wings up and stuff?
Yeah.
I think that's how she dies, if I remember rightly. Yeah, disservice, man.
Real disservice. But the police in general are stupid. So they arrive, and he's like, you're going to have to deal with the problem, detective. And they lift the cloth, and he's like, oh shit, there's computer screens. At no point did they trace the cables to the bit of cloth they reveal later that shows the two fucking VHS players.
No, that's in a different building. It's the SWAT team track the location to the house, and that's where they go, and that's where they uncover the VHS, and that's when they realize it's on a different loop. It's not in the same building.
But they have a tech team they call, and the tech team takes like an hour and 50 minutes to fucking get there. Why did they take so long?
Because how the fuck do you track a VHS tape?
How did they run a VHS tape from the warehouse?
VHS tape. They thought it was live. So
yeah, but how did they run? Like, Mark, you're the VHS expert. VHS from the crypt. I'm asking you. Well, 35 miles across town. How do you run a VHS feed to computer screens in another building, three-quarters of a mile away?
I don't know. It's some serious science behind it. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me how you could do it. I know how to press play on a TV remote, and I know how to rewind them, but that's about it.
I know who would know. Gareth
would definitely know the answer to this question.
Video Tasties, how do you play a VHS tape in your house and make it appear on a screen 30 miles away?
In fact, I know, because this is how he does it when he does his live streams. He presses play on the VHS player and then sends a signal to his back garden where he records.
Yeah,
so I know he'll know how to do it.
He could be Jigsaw.
Haven't we accused him of being somebody in the past already? I can't remember who it was now. We did say there was another killer on the show, and we was like, I'm pretty sure it's Gareth.
Gareth dishing out real serial killer vibes. Who's your favourite character, Becky? I need to know who, because in this you've got to latch to someone to get through this movie, even though it's only short. There's got to be someone you're like, I want that person to succeed. Who is it?
I mean, it was the young lad I was rooting for the whole time. Obviously, I had seen it before, so I knew what was going to happen, but he's the only one that I'm like...
Pure innocence.
He's, done absolutely nothing. He just has a cop for a dad, and that is it. That's all the reason that he's there. So I was like, he better get out. He needs to get out. It's not his fault.
No, and his dad is bad as well. Like that scene where he's like, I just don't want to live with you anymore, Dad. He's like, fine, get out then, motherfucker. I fucking hate you. Don't want to see you ever again. It's like, that's not how you parent. Who parents like that?
The Wahlbergs.
The Wahlbergs.
Yeah.
I 100% latched on to John Kramer. I wanted Jigsaw to win. Like, and I think this is, I don't know if this tells more about me than it probably should, but every single Saw movie, I always want Jigsaw to win. I don't want any of them to survive. I want to recreate that really bleak ending from the first one. I want Jigsaw just to annihilate them all. They all fail, and he sort of high fives Amanda and goes, "Well, on to the next group," and gets in a van and drives away. That's the ending I want.
Yeah.
And I don't get it in this. Instead, I get Donnie Wahlberg beat the shit out of an old man and snap his finger.
Yeah, and I'm usually like that, but this one, like we were saying earlier, felt a bit like it wasn't necessary that they were all there. Should they have all been there? Had they really done anything wrong? Apart from the big muscly guy who was going around and killing everyone, I couldn't wait for him to die. I wanted someone to take him out.
And that's when Mark now reveals that was the character he latched onto.
No, I like Detective Matthews. I'm a big fan. I think he gets a bad rap. Everyone always says he's an arsehole and stuff, but he's just a cop. He's one of those cops who's had to do what he needed to do to get the job done, and he's done. You can feel the weight on his shoulders of the things he's had to do, and I just felt bad for him throughout this. It's one thing to be an absolute arsehole yourself and commit terrible things, but then when somebody uses your children as a way of executing that against you, I just think it's awful. Do you know what I mean? And I felt really bad for him. And there was that stupid question that there was one conversation between Jigsaw and Detective Matthews that really annoyed me. And it was when they were talking about what was the last thing you said to your son. Why would you possibly want him back? And I was like, because it's his fucking son. Just because they've had an argument doesn't mean to say he actually wants him to die. Like, what don't you understand about that? You can tell you don't have kids. I think that's revealed later on in the franchise.
You're one of those parents. Like, you obviously don't have children. How dare you?
No, I know, but even just to be like, why would you want him back? I'm like, why would you not? Like, of course he wants him back. And then the whole thing as well, like, I really felt for him in that moment when it's a big reveal that all of the people are in the house because it's people that he's put away. And then he's like, all these people are in there with your son. Imagine how they're going to react when they find out who his father is. And I'm like, oh, that's awful, man. Like, and you just see his face, he's crying, like genuinely crying. And I'm like, oh, this just isn't nice. And then when he beats Jigsaw up, I'm like, yeah, fuck you, man.
I think the bit about beating Jigsaw up is made very, very impactful by the fact that Dina Meyer doesn't want it to happen. And the other cop, the SWAT guy, just basically he just holds her back. He's like, no.
We tried it your way.
Yeah, we tried to play nice. He needs to beat the life out of him now. When he holds his finger and he snaps it, that effect
so
is
good.
like, oh,
yeah, really cool.
Yeah, awful. Like, I can't think of like having like snapping a finger has got to be the worst thing. I've broken a finger, but it's not been like broken like right over sideways. Like, fuck that.
I've never broken a bone. I'm 36 years old. I work on rooftops. I've fallen off rooftops before. I did at Christmas last year. Do you remember when I fell off that roof?
I should keep a tally of the amount of times you text me and go, oh, mate, I'm a bit shaken up. And I go, why? And you're like, fallen off a roof. And I think the last 3 times I've messaged back going, again?
Yeah, and I've never, ever broken a bone. I'm beginning to think I might be Bruce Willis in Unbreakable. I don't want to put the theory to the test. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to test the theory, but I'm beginning to think something's going my way here.
Becky, bones broken, many?
Never, not one.
Oh, well, there you go. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, in which case makes me Mr. Glass.
Yeah. I thought I was really special then, because like everyone I speak to at least has a story about how they broke a leg or an arm or something growing up, and then all of a sudden, out of 3 people, Becky's just killed my entire story. Cheers,
yeah, so you and Becky both have the same powers. I've broken fingers, ribs, nose twice, jaw, collarbone, wrist, arm. Like,
dude,
I've broken so many bones in so many different ways that now when I fall and I land on something, I'm like, did anything break? And I now know I've now broken enough bones that I can move my arm or my hand and go, no, I'm good. I didn't break anything this time. Like, I'm aware.
Be careful as well, man, because you are having falls now, aren't you? You're at that point.
This is cancer.
What do we think traps wise in this? So there, I have a favorite trap, which is the Venus flytrap. My least favorite trap in all of this is the needle pit, and purely for the fact that it's such as impactful it is. Like, it is the worst trap to be in, but he throws Amanda in, and there's a countdown on the door that's going to lock. Like, if someone threw me in that pit, I would literally just climb back out or sit there and wait for the timer to expire. There is no way I'd go sifting through it. And I don't know why she did. But where are you with, like, Becky, what's your favorite trap and least favorite in this?
Yeah, mine would be the same. The favorite would be the head one at the beginning. Least favorite, I don't even find them very memorable. I can barely remember half of them, to be quite honest. I didn't like the needle pit. I liked Amanda's reaction, and like that as an drug user, a drug addict, you know, that would have been absolutely awful for her to go through. But then also, obviously, knowing that she's in on it, she would have known there's not actually, you're not going to be getting pinpricks, but there's nothing to worry about with those needles, as dirty as they looked, you know.
No, I don't know. I disagree, because I don't think the trap was necessarily for her. The trap was for Xavier. He was the one who was supposed to go in the trap, and I do believe they were genuine. I mean, when they zoom in on it, it's a genuine, like, dirty X needle. Like, it's horrendous. You know, there was no safety net put in place in case Amanda fell in. You know, it was supposed to be horrendous for Xavier to go in and find the key himself, because it was his specific trap. So I don't know if it was a tamed down version because she was involved in it. She just was never meant to be in there.
That's true. Yeah, fair.
How about you, Mark? Favorite trap?
Favorite trap? I mean, they're very few and far between in this movie. The main trap, I suppose the only two traps in this film are the bear trap at the beginning and the trap where the lady puts her arms in to get the needle, which I've already said is my least favorite in the movie.
You've got the revolver on the door as well, where he's like, "Do not use that key," and he turns the key, and then
it's
blows
not a
the
key.
other.
It's not a trap, though, is it? I wouldn't consider that a trap because there's no tape to go with it.
Yeah, and
a trap, yeah.
Hole as they're unlocking a door. What? Like,
no
why?
one, yeah. So for me, I don't consider that to be a trap. As cool as that scene is, I think in terms of Saw logic, for it to be considered a trap, it has to come in companion with a voice recording tape from John Kramer or Amanda themselves to be considered. So for me, my favorite is it's not necessarily a trap, and I'm just going to define my own logic here, but I think it's when Detective Matthews gets trapped at the end and she jumps out of the bath. Yeah, I think he does get a tape anyway, doesn't he? Because he's playing the tape. He does, yeah. So that's my favorite. It's the twist with Detective Matthews at the end when they lower him into the same room which we experienced in the first film. And again, I think the way that all plays out as well is really cool, because we know that there's been a delay on the VHS tape. So when we're seeing it, we're seeing them a lot more deteriorated than what they were when we were there 2 minutes ago in our mind.
Yeah.
When you see the actual final like playing out. So I really like that. I think there's a lot of details within that final scene that warrant the payoff that we get at the end of this movie. So yeah, that's where I am with it.
Yeah, and I think that ending up back in the bit where he's sort of going down to that door, and I had the realization, I was like, fuck, that's the big slidey game over door. You're in the bathroom. Like, that moment, first watch was like, oh, that's so clever. Like, it's gone back to where it started. The question that arose in my mind is, what fucking building are they in? They've got this elaborate maze upstairs with all these other booby traps and the safe and all the other shit. And then down a flight of stairs and through a sliding door, they've got the bathroom. Like, what is this building? Is this a purpose-built building by Jigsaw to house all of these events? Or was this at one point, I don't know, what was it? Was it like some sort of slum accommodation block with a shared bathroom downstairs? Because like 3 urinals on the wall and a bath, and it like the whole setup and design of the layout of the building just doesn't make any sense to me.
No, so the way I perceive it, because when Detective Matthews is driven there with Jigsaw, he goes in and it looks like just a basic house like you would find from King of Queens, the house that they live in, you know, the small sort of American townhouse kind of thing. Then my logic brain kicked in, and I was like, maybe it's like an estate, like a street, you know, similar to what you get in Don't Breathe, where they have like loads and loads of houses, and he's just maybe knocked through a few buildings to make his little crime maze. So that's kind of where I am in terms of justifying it. It is a singular house next to loads of different houses in a terrace, and he's just sort of knocked them to bits and made it. And especially, you would need it to be somewhere quiet.
Yeah.
Because
like
of the noise.
Like Barbarian with the run.
Barbarian, yes, that was another one that I was thinking.
Yeah. I think my biggest problem with this is the fact that they name drop the gas. So there's a poisonous gas, which he names as sarin gas, which has been used in a couple of terror attacks in the world. Sarin gas, even in the tiniest amount, I mean, we're talking like millimeters, like tiny amounts in an air duct system would kill you in under a minute. And like, I had a real issue. Like, I was fine when it's a poisonous gas, but don't care. When he name dropped sarin, I was like, oh no, you've ruined it, because sarin gas would not take 3 hours to kill you. No matter how little you used, you'd be dead in seconds. And it also then raised questions of, was Amanda ever poisoned? I think
she wasn't. She doesn't cough the whole way through. That's one thing I noticed this time around.
Which then begs the question, is the gas just a ruse, and were they all injected earlier on?
I believe so, because even the serums that they're supposed to be trying to get, which there was never going to be obtainable.
What, the substance? What fucking...
The green fucking reanimator stuff. I was like, I wouldn't be putting that in my body, I'm honest. I don't think I'm injecting that anywhere.
Like, I've had lots of like injections and immunizations throughout the course of my life, and I've taken kids to have their jabs and stuff like that. I have never seen a luminescent green injection that they've gone, this will cure you. Like, I've just not. And if they pulled out something and it was glowing, I'd be like, do you know what? Like, I'm all on board with like vaccinations and jabs, but I'm looking at that and I'm going, I don't think that's the one for me. I'm going to give that a wide berth.
I would be expecting to have superpowers afterwards after taking that shit, I'll be honest with you.
Or a bare minimum luminescent pee.
Yeah. Glow in the dark, maybe. I'd take that.
Yeah, I would want to be able to go out in the middle of the night and write my name on the road and it glow in the dark.
I think you'd suffer worse if you injected the serum that's in this movie.
This is true. Is there anything anyone else wants to dive into or dissect? This, I've got to say, this is a real short runtime movie as well. It's an hour and 30 minutes and it suffers with zero pacing issues. It is like, bam, 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 bam. Thank you very much. We killed 9 people. Have a nice day. See you next time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I don't really think there is much to dissect about this movie. It is a bit of a paint by the numbers sort of play out. Yes, there is some twists along the way, but none of them are ever going to be as shocking or as explosive as what the first one was. And I think the thing is with this franchise, it became so synonymous with having that final act, that final moment of, oh my god, and the Saw theme music coming in and the do 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 do. There you go. It's just like, I found myself by the time we were getting there, I was like, oh, here it is. What's it going to be this time? And I know when you're doing it on the second movie, you can't really say that, but this came out, what, 15 years ago now? Probably even longer, is it not?
2006, I think this was.
Yeah, so, well, very, very long, 19 years ago. So, I mean,
yeah,
we kind of know the drill by now with these movies. I don't think it holds up very well on a rewatch, I'll be honest with you.
No. Is there anything else you want to dive into, Becky, before we get Mark to do his recommended account?
No, I'm happy. I've covered the...
You sure you can't think of anything, Beck?
I mean, yeah, I just...
So you can't stall for a minute for me, please?
This reveal at the end was probably the best bit for me. So when it all comes together and the kid is in the safe and it's like, oh, if you'd have just listened to what he was saying at the beginning, it all would have been fine.
Yeah, it genuinely would have been. And I want to give Mark a soundbite, even though he did get Becky to delay for him, because I think it's appropriate for what he does.
Download the Timu app and shop like a billionaire.
So this week's recommended account is smeets.beats on Instagram. Smeets.beats is a Scottish drummer. For those of you who follow myself on Instagram, I've been sharing quite a lot of this stuff recently on my stories. He basically, I know there's a lot of accounts out there that do like drum covers to music videos and certain songs and all the rest of it, but he does drum covers to children's TV shows from when we were younger. So this stuff from like Okie Dokie was the one that I saw today, and he did a drum cover for that. It's really fun, and it's a massive nostalgia hit as well. If you're into drum music at all in any way, and you love like 90s kids TV shows, it's the perfect account. And that is smeets.beats on Instagram.
Hey everyone, I want to talk to you about a couple of the shows that you can get on the You Run Podcast Network by visiting our website, yourunpodcast.com. Now, the first one of these shows is the Pop Culture Reflections Podcast. This is a show that's hosted by Justin, who's an incredible guy, and he is so engrossed in the pop culture of our history, be that 80s, 90s, more modern into the 2000s, even stuff that is relevant now in pop culture. And this doesn't just cover movies, it's TV series, professional wrestling, music, like anything you could possibly imagine. He's got a new series at the moment that he's doing with Greg Hoey from You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast, which focuses specifically on underdiscovered music, so he's definitely worth checking out. The other show I want to talk to you about is the Girl and the Gay podcast. This is hosted by Jay and Becky, and they dive into movies. Not just horror movies, they do action movies, they do romantic comedies. They have a very unique dynamic between them, and Jay hasn't seen a lot of the movies that they cover, which gives a real unique and a real open perspective on things that are considered legacy great movies. Jay might look at them and go, that's dreadful, but it's so authentic and so original that you need to check them out as well. So the Girl and the Gay podcast and Pop Culture Reflections podcast can both be found at yourunpodcast.com, along with all the other members of the You Run Podcast Network. Let's get back to the show. Thanks, Scott. Anyway, please go and follow Mark's recommended account of the week, and say hi from us here at the show. Just introduce yourself. Go, oh, hi, I'm here because Mark sent me here. And then tag him and tag me, because then everyone follows everyone and everyone wins. Check out yourunpodcast.com, where you'll find Becky's show that I just advertised, along with Pop Culture Reflections and all of the other shows of the You Run Podcast Network, now featuring 2 brand new members as well. So we've got the What the Fuck Are You Doing podcast, and we've got Deadbeats that have both joined the network recently, both incredible shows, so go and check those out as well. On our website, you'll also find links to all of our shows, links to our socials, including Instagram, where you can vote in the polls. You will also find Mark on Instagram. He is at VHS from the Crypt, where you can get, no, he's not. He's at Reviews from the Crypt, where you can get his take on horror movies, B movies in particular. And he's at VHS from the Crypt, where he'll show you the videos of the B movies that he's reviewed, so you get the full picture. It's like, this is a review of this terrible movie that came out in 1974, and look, here's the VHS. I have it. It's so cool. Like, they go hand in hand. So go and follow him for loads of cool stuff. And like, I mock Mark every single week, but his accounts are cool. And like, I met Mark through following his account, so go and give him a follow. If you're not on Instagram, you can't follow Mark because that's the only place he is, but you can follow us everywhere else. We're at You Run Podcast on pretty much every social media platform now, including Facebook, which for some reason has gone from 30 followers to 500 followers in less than 4 days. Picking up some traction on Facebook. So kind of everything. If you really want to support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/You Run Podcast. On Patreon, there are exclusive episodes. There is a whole other show called You Run Extra that me and Mark are recording in a little bit. Also, there's early release of this show, True Crime. Every single YouTube episode you get at least a week before. There's loads of additional perks where you can control the show and you can do all the other cool stuff that you want to. And to everyone who's already subscribed to Patreon,
Thanks, loves.
thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed to Patreon, please do it. Like, there's a free tier as well. And on the free tier, you get an early release episode once a week, and you get some other stuff as well, and some polls and some other bits. It's free. Like, it doesn't cost anything. Just, like, join. patreon.com/You Run Podcast. If you are too lazy to go to another site, do stuff on the sites you're on. Share the show with a friend. Tell a friend about it. Share it on your story. Leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening, Apple or Spotify. That's about it. That's about all the things you can do to help this show, all in one wonderful bundle. So fucking pick some of them and do it, please. I know I do it every single week, and I know that people listen and they don't necessarily digest it. But to give you a perspective, if you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, we jump up the charts. If 2 people leave us a review, we jump up the charts. Do you know, if we got 15 reviews in the space of about 4 days, we would jump into the top 50 on Apple Podcasts. And that, for us, we would be discovered by so many more people and make the community that listen to this show so much bigger. And people don't do it because they're too lazy. So if you're listening on Apple, like, just where it says 5 stars at the top, just fucking click 5 stars. It's really not hard.
Do you know what you should do? You should spice it up a bit when you do that segment each week. Do you remember how you used to get me to do like readouts in accents? You should try doing different accents each week for that segment and see how you get on. It might make people pay more attention.
Well, give me an accent now and I'll tell people to subscribe in said accent.
Do it in a Borat accent.
Yes, please come and yes, please come and subscribe to You Run Podcast. Patreon.com/You Run Podcast. Very nice. Anyway, moving on swiftly.
And that is facts.
I found loads of cool facts about this, like absolutely loads. So to conceal the ending from the cast, not just from everyone else, everyone was not given the last 25 pages of the script until they were stood on set to film that scene. So it wasn't until they were there, and the only people who got it were the people who were involved in the final sequence. There was cast and crew members that went to the premiere of this movie that had no clue how it ended.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
I like that.
It took 4 days to set up the needle pit as they replaced every single syringe tip with a fiber tip. There were 120,000 syringes had to be changed. And what they also done is, for the initial shots, they had some real syringes on the top that then had to be hooked out. And what they done is they hooked them out and stuck them on the side. And then when Amanda got thrown in, she pulled some of them in by mistake. So then they had to hook her out and go through it and work out which ones were real and which ones weren't, to reset, to reshoot again.
Do you know what I mean, though? Imagine that. It's like, oh, yeah, I want to get into making movies when I'm older. And you're in charge of making the needle pit for Saw 2. And you're there for like 8 days just making fake needles. That's enough to make anybody want to change the job.
It really is. Shawnee Smith was pregnant when she started filming. And she didn't tell anyone because she was worried about being fired. And it didn't come out until just before the wrap party. And it was someone else that mentioned that she was pregnant. And apparently the director went, "You're what now?" Because she'd done all of her own stunts and fell in the needle pit herself. And like, she was doing that while she was pregnant. And it's awful that she had to lie because she knew if she told the truth, they'd fire her.
And it's not a case of firing her as like a prejudice thing against her, but obviously no director is willingly going to let a pregnant woman fall into something like that in case she miscarriages or anything, you know? So therefore, they're putting her safety first. So as malice as it might sound to be like, they would fire me, yes, because of your own protection. You know, like, it's not... If I was a director and someone was like, "Oh, she's pregnant. Oh, it's all right. Just give her the extra push she needs off the edge." I'm like, no, wrap her in bubble wrap and send her home.
Yeah, there is that, but there's also the stunt doubles that are available, and like, she had the same haircut as Natalie Imbruglia. Just call Natalie Imbruglia in for a day, push her in the bit.
We don't talk about hair.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with her hair in this at all. Saw X, she has some serious hair issues going on.
Oh, she does. She's had some time. She is the Courtney Cox of this franchise, to be honest with you.
And the thing is, in this, it's a wig. Like, if you see photos of her at the time, she's got lovely long hair. Like, it's not this haircut. So they forced all of her actual hair into this horrific wig and like wiggled it on her head and gone, right, you're good to go.
Why?
I don't know. This done mega sales on DVD. In its first week, it sold 3 million copies worldwide on DVD. Like, just forget what it done at the box office. It's irrelevant. 3 million copies at the time. DVDs were about £10 each. That's 30 million just on DVD sales in the opening week.
Yeah,
that's mental.
Absolutely crazy. The traps in this and in the first movie were working traps, which fucking is insane. So the Venus flytrap, they had to basically initiate a safety mechanism so it would not snap shut, because it had the ability to actually go.
No, I don't care. I'm not doing that. I am not fucking walking around with that thing on my head, knowing there was a chance it could snap at any moment.
There's that. Also, the gun that's behind the door, when they turn the key, that was a working mechanism that pulled the trigger on a gun that contained a blank. Like, it actually worked. These traps actually were things that would realistically work. Take the safety pin out of that Venus flytrap and stick it on its head. This is a very, very different movie.
Wow.
No, thank you.
Absolutely insane. The razor box trap. So we all complained about the razor box trap, but how stupid it was. None of you noticed. I noticed it on this rewatch and went to search for the fact. When she puts her hands up, you get a shot behind her, and there is a padlock on the glass box that obviously they open the door. So that padlock is on the glass door at the front. The key is in the lock.
So she could have just unlocked it,
undone the key, opened the door, and taken it out. And they done it on purpose because it was to highlight the fact that in a panic, people don't pay attention, they don't look properly, and they just go, oh fuck, I need that, hands up in. But if she'd have stopped for 2 seconds, just undone the lock, she could have swung the whole face of it open and taken the syringe out.
Yeah, but the thing is, there was never any intention for her to get that out, because the bottom of the syringe was stuck to the bottom of the glass. So as soon as she lifted it, the liquid all fell out. That was the whole point of it. Like, that's just another false saw trap.
But if she had opened the door, she wouldn't have lifted it. She'd have pulled it towards herself.
Ah, you've outsmarted me this time.
The opening scene where he has to cut the key out of his eye, that wasn't the original intent for that trap, and they changed it to up the ante. So originally he was going to be supplied with a key, and the key was going to be in his hand, but there was going to be a razor blade placed between him and his head. So as he lifted his arm, he had to push his arm further into the razor blade to the point that he's almost reached the bone to get the key to the lock to unlock it. And I think that sounds worse than the cutting the eye out.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, because I don't think like the eye one is a plot. I don't think you could cut your own eye out.
No, you pass out.
But that I think I could do that. I mean, it hurt like fuck. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I would be more inclined to just grin and bear that than actually physically spoon my eyeball out of my skull.
Yeah, I think with the eyeball trap in particular, like, it's like, here's an X-ray, here's a little video of me putting this behind your eye. You need to take it out. I just be like, yeah. Is there like a quick release button on this that I could just trigger it now? I don't really want to wait a minute. Like,
it's not even that though. It's like the once the eye's out, the key's still in there. Like, that's going to be tender as all sorts, and you've got to stick your finger inside your skull to pull the key from out with it. It's horrible, and it's massively unachievable.
Yeah, especially in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie can rob some serious cars in that time.
They can literally be gone in 60 seconds. That's how good they are. We have some voicemails, so let's kick it off with this one.
Hi guys, so just listened to Last House on the Left episode. Great that you're actually back in horror, and what a banger that was. I love Last House on the Left. Yes, the routine was uncomfortable, but I think it was justified and great. The one thing that really did bug me when I watched it was the microwave. Purely because I was like, it wouldn't work. Why are you doing it? We're not idiots. I actually must have missed the throwaway line you mentioned, so it's good to know they did include that. Seeing Mac's face discovering you're doing Lord of the Rings was priceless, especially after I've already listened to that episode. There's a bit out of sync there, but that's cool. Your game reminded me of Mallet from Timmy Mallet. I don't know if Mac's quite old enough to remember that. That's cool.
I know who he is, but I can't remember the show.
As soon as you went, Wes Craven, I knew it was going to end on rape. That was so obvious. But great show. Catch you later.
Dave was so pleased at your reaction to Lord of the Rings, but we timed the release wrong. So our Lord of the Rings episode released like 3 days before the episode where you found out. He listened to them back to front, and he was like, your reaction, like oh my God, we're doing Lord of the Rings. And he'd already heard it. He's like, oh. And Dave, please stop revealing the sources of where I find my games, because the game did come from Mallet's Mallet. So please stop. We have another message.
Hi, I just listened to your review of The Labyrinth, and my thoughts before listening to it were, oh, the You Run podcast have done a review of Labyrinth. Let's see if it's different from mine. And I was horrified, and I was really glad that Scott at least saw it as a nostalgic movie, whereas everyone else, it hurt. It hurt to hear about one of my favorite childhood films that way. But I'll get over it. Anyway, this is the Aardvark from the Aardvark and Friends Do Red Dwarf. I look forward to hearing your next reviews.
I'm sorry, man, but the reason it hurts is because the truth does hurt.
No. Just no. Absolutely. Do you know, I got so many messages, like actual like text messages going, you've really upset like my inner child has just called you all nasty names. I've been forwarding them on to Horror Movie Maniacs, and I forwarded on the message that Heather sent. I forwarded on that message as well, and they're like, yeah, we're really sorry. I'm like, you don't have to be sorry. I'm just letting you know, like, this is what you've done. This is the damage you've caused. We have one more message, and then we're going to roll on into a couple of games.
Oh, I just noticed. I just re-listened to that back, and maybe I should record while I sat on the toilet more often. The audio was fucking incredible. Just for you, Mac.
If that's where you are now, Dave, that is peak audio from you.
It's really good audio. So yeah, Dave,
I mean, I don't encourage you to use the toilet while you're sending messages, but you can still utilize that room for the right reasons.
Yeah, or just send it while you're going to the toilet. I'm not that bothered. Should we do? We're going to do one game quickly first, and we'll do caption this. So the one game quickly first is we've launched a brand new game that we're recording in advance, so no one's heard this yet, and Becky's not heard this yet. It's 5 clips from a movie, or 5 clips from 5 movies. You need to name them all, call into the show, tell us what all 5 of them are. We're going to play that clip quickly for you now. If I can find it, it is there. So here are your 5 movie clips. And Mark doesn't know what they are, hence why he's just lent in to hear them, because I know it's pissed him off.
I think I know one, I think.
Okay, well, here it is.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Give me a break.
No, I definitely know one. It's the second one that I think I know as well. I just can't place it. After that, I'm just done.
I'll play it one more time for you.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Give me a break.
Actually, no, I know the first 3.
Oh, well, we by the time that this episode is out, by next week, we'll start having calls with people guessing, and it will start to unravel, I think.
Do you know any back?
I've got the first one, but after that, they were so quick. No.
See, the thing is, when that first episode comes out where they play that soundbite, I'm going to study it and play it on repeat in my house until I figure out exactly where they are and what they're from.
And in case anyone tries to be clever and slings it into AI, I've changed the pitch by 1 octave on every single clip, so AI cannot identify it before you try and cheat. Caption this: I have not uploaded the image. I don't know why I didn't upload the image, but it is not attached to this episode. It is an image of someone screaming in Saw with blood on their neck. You just have to imagine it. It's the girl who doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. She just bumbles around. She bumbles around, cries a lot, gets splattered with blood on her neck. It's that scene. Adam Willow went with the instant regret of deciding to do Brutal Horror Month. Pretty much. Mike the Movie Misfit. The reveal of I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025, which
I'm amazed that I don't know what happens at the end of that movie yet. I'm still waiting for it to come on VOD. So I don't spoil it. I know what you're like. I don't know what the ending is, but I'm excited for it if it's something special because it's causing uproar, whatever it is.
Yeah,
you've seen it, haven't you, Beck?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I loved it.
You loved it, brilliant. You hated it, didn't you? But you hated the movie anyway.
Yeah, I hated the original. I hated the requel, whatever it was, even more. If anyone wants to know my full thoughts, there is a full episode on YouTube where I literally just go at it for 9 minutes, from script to plot to characters to returning characters to reveals to pretty much everything that I hated, crammed into 9 minutes of pure rage and just almost spitting at the screen with venom.
I can't wait for it to come out. I'm going to come back with like a proper review of it and just glorify it and tag you away in it. Keep constantly sending it to you daily. We
gave the Patreon members the option to put it on as a new release, and it was a unanimous absolutely not.
Ah, motherfuckers! I need an excuse to watch it. I would go and pay for a cinema ticket to go and watch it
before you end up seeing any spoilers, because that's going to ruin it. You need to.
Yeah, I will. I should be able to get hold of it soon, and I'll check it out.
Nate Mayer went with barbecue ribs and white shirts and never a good mix. Just another movie night. Oh, this is dark, guys. When a rim job backfires. Randomly, Eric taking it just that one step further than normal. Oh my God! Ooh, did you just cum blood?
Oh,
yeah, they're bad.
Why do you have to go there, guys?
And my absolute favorite is Chaz Presley. Mark's reaction when Scott gets another twinkle in his ass to do another non-horror month. Yeah, it's not happening, Chaz. Like, even I'm a big enough man to admit when I was wrong, and cramming it all into 1 month, I was wrong. I accept full responsibility for the huge drop in listener numbers, the actual drop in Spotify subscribers, and the drop in Apple Podcast subscribers. Like, I apologize. Like, if you're back and you'd gone, it will never happen again. Please don't leave.
Just put your faith in me, guys. I'm always right, and I'll steer him right now. Now he's learnt the error of his ways, I'll keep him on track.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway.
No, probably not.
Broken Spirit 2.0, making tears of people flow. No lifelines, no one helps. These questions will make you yelp. Broken Spirit 2.0, making tears of people flow. No lifelines, no one helps. These questions will make you yelp. Broken Spirit, Broken Spirit, Broken Spirit, Broken Spirit.
I'm sweating.
You should be.
Firstly, I want to thank the person who would like to remain anonymous, who finally spotted that in the montage of that intro, when people are moving quickly through Japan, there is a sign for the happy massage. And it's been a little thing that I put in that I've laughed at every time I've played it. And it's now been spotted. So well done to that anonymous person for spotting the happy massage. And if you can translate Chinese, below it gives you all of the services that they offer in that happy massage in Tokyo. Broken Spirit is the game where we give This Girl Loves Horror 10 questions, and we're going to find out if she actually does love horror or she's just faking it. The 10 questions get progressively harder. Everyone she gets right, she gets 10 points. If she gets one wrong, it is game over and time to leave. But she can tap out at any time and take her points with her. Top of the pops is Alex from AMPFX Studios with a perfect 10 out of 10. Followed closely behind by Jim and Jay and the Horror Friendly Podcast with a 9 out of 10. Jim and Jay's is
come on, let's be honest, right? We're making a mockery of this quiz by even including them in this leaderboard right now. I'm sorry, guys. You know I love you both, but that was a sham.
There's been a few where I've been, especially as the lyrics say, no help and.
You won't be getting any help this evening, especially after what you did to me 2 weeks ago. Do you know what they made me do, Scott? They asked me to speak Elvish.
I gave you a multiple choice.
They asked me to speak Elvish because I like Lord of the Rings. I'm like, I struggle with English, and now you expect me to speak a completely fake language to be able to play this game.
Well, I'm not being funny. All you needed to do was put your big, thick accent that you used to have when you first started this show, and they would never have known the difference. If you'd have just put your thick Yorkshire tea accent on, they'd have been like, fucking hell, he speaks Elvish.
The thing is, I think my Yorkshire accent's got worse as we've gone on. I think you're just more tolerable to it now. Like, I used to make an effort to hide it, but now I just don't even notice.
Yeah, maybe my ears have tuned into it, but I can understand you. The only time I've struggled to understand you is when we've been incredibly drunk, and you go in
most recording sessions. To be fair,
no. When we've met up and we've gone out and we've been really drunk, your very, very drunk Yorkshire accent. There's times that I just kind of like turn my head slightly. You're like a dog when it's confused. Just like I turn my head slightly and then I just nod and go. Sure. Yeah. Becky, you need 9 to catch your co-host. You need 10 to top the leaderboard, or you need 1 to beat Mark. It's really that simple.
No,
I don't do well under pressure. My mind has already gone blank and emptied everything, and I'm.
Don't make me feel bad for you. You don't deserve it from me this week. You really don't.
Who would you like to go first, me or Mark?
Oh, let's get Mark out of the
way. What is the name of Tobin Bell's character? What is the surname of Tobin Bell's character in the Saw franchise?
Kramer.
That is incorrect. No, I'm joking. That is correct.
That's enough. That's 10 points. In the movie The Ring, how long do people have to live after watching the tape?
Oh, it's one of those that I think I know it, but
process your
vocalize your thoughts.
Yeah,
you have to say like final answer, like on a game show that we don't talk about.
Isn't it? 24 hours. I haven't watched The Ring for a long time. 7 hours. 7 days. It's a week, isn't it?
It might be. I don't know.
What are you going to go with?
What happens in the film?
Unsolicited help.
How long do they have? 7. Yeah. No. So yeah, 7 days. Yes.
7 days is correct. Mark had a very interesting.
I can't even be horrible even when I want to be.
You just don't have it in you.
I don't. Question number 3: Who directed the horror film Nope?
Jordan Peele.
That is correct.
You're doing well. 3 for 3. Question number 4: In what city were Alex and his friends flying to when he had a premonition in Final Destination?
Paris.
That's correct. 4 out of 4.
Question number 5: In what city is Candyman set?
Chicago. We just recorded that last night.
Oh, fucking hell. Well done. That's 50 points.
Flying through it. What year was the original Paranormal Activity released?
Oh, 2000. Don't take this. 2006, I think.
What do you want to do? You gonna take a gamble on it, or are you gonna take your points at 50 and sit middle of the leaderboard?
No, I'm pretty confident. It's 2006.
How confident are you, though?
Okay, now you're making me doubt myself.
Mark will do that. Mark always tries to make people doubt themselves.
2006. 2007?
What are you going to go with? No pressure.
Paranormal Activity. I'm trying to think now. Back to when I reviewed it, but it was ages ago. Mark, you've put that seed of doubt in my mind now. I'm thinking it's 2007.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Correct.
Well done. Unfortunately, you've made it this far. Question number 7. Which of these movies was not directed by James Wan? Dead Silence, The Conjuring, Aquaman, or Saw 2?
Saw 2.
That is correct. It was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. He goes on to do quite a few in this franchise, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I think he done 3, 4, and 5. I think.
Yeah, I couldn't have told you who did Saw 2, but yeah, I just knew that it was no one from the first one.
Question number 8. Which actor appears in all 3 of these movies? The Purge, Sinister, and The Black Phone.
Ethan Hawke.
It's correct. You're flying. You get this one right, and you are tied with your co-host.
Oh.
Question number 9. Which city is Shaun of the Dead set?
This was harder than I thought because I got it wrong when I wrote the question.
I think I would get this wrong. I think now I know the answer. It's a fairly... Yeah, but like, I think I don't know why I'm voicing this out loud because all I'm doing is helping. I think I would have picked something that would have been wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would have picked.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Do you know what I mean though? It's one of those questions, isn't it? Where it's like, I don't know where I would have actually picked.
But it wouldn't be this location for definite.
No. But that doesn't help you in any way. If anything, if your initial thought process was in the right direction, we probably just made that 10 times worse for you.
No, honestly, no, I might have to tap more.
What would you guess? Just out of curiosity, because we might have just ruined this quiz for you.
Like, I don't even know if it was up north or down south. I can't even think of anything in the film that might have helped figure out where it was.
See, that's the thing. There isn't really a lot, is there, in the movie itself that would make it location specific. Yeah.
You can always walk away with your points and be 10 points behind your co-host and never hear the end of it.
Isn't it? Oh.
Or you could take a punt at it and maybe get it wrong and leave with nothing and be behind Mark and then really never hear the end of it.
Yeah, definitely can't do that.
I didn't walk away with 10 points. There's no way I'm on 10 points.
You went out. You went bust.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm all or nothing. I'm completionist or I'm out. What's your thought process? What are you thinking? There must be, like, if something springs to mind, UK city, what are you going for?
So London or Manchester comes to mind, but I don't think...
So if you were to go south or north,
I'm going to give you a clue. One of those is the correct answer. One of them is not.
Oh, shit.
So now it's almost like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You've got a 50-50 now.
I'm a friend.
What are you more inclined to go with?
Manchester.
With a Simon Pegg movie.
So are you going to go with it or are you going to walk away?
Okay, I'm going to risk it. Manchester.
Final answer?
Yes.
Do you know what? I actually wanted that to be the end game for you, but I'm actually really sad that we're here. I feel bad for you. I came into this evening tonight thinking I hope she fails massively due to the shit show she put me through a couple of weeks ago. But now we're actually here. I feel really bad. I'm sorry.
You done really well. You've left with 0 points. It was London. It was North London, to be really specific.
Isn't it weird, right? I would never have said. I mean, logically,
they're both Londoners.
Sorry, no insulting to you, Becky, but logically, it would make sense for it to be set in London because they are Northerners, Southerners. But yeah, I mean, for me, like, I would have picked something really obscure, I think, to try and be clever about the situation.
Yeah, like somewhere in Surrey. Like
London was too obvious.
Yeah, I would have assumed London was too obvious, and there's nothing about it that screams mainstream London to me in terms of. It's not like Last Night in Soho. Do you know what I mean? But then Edgar Wright, so of course, yeah.
London. As you've got this far, I am going to give you the final question to see if you would have got it right. What is the name of the Black Bride in Insidious Chapter 2?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I wouldn't have known that one.
No, wouldn't have known that one either.
All right, misery loves company, Beck. Welcome to the bottom of the pack.
So, Mark and Becky are now holding up the entire division of Broken Spirit. Alex is safe, Jay is safe, and Jay now has bragging rights when Becky goes back to record their next episode. We're going to wrap this one up. I'm going to let Mark take this first and give us his thoughts.
2,000 years later.
You started already, dude. To be fair, I'm going to keep this one brief, and I think that's becoming my opening catchphrase now because I just feel like the timer is on me as soon as I start talking when it comes to roundups. I don't have many positive things to say about this movie. I really enjoyed the back and forth between John Kramer and Detective Matthews. I think in terms of acting as well, those two were the strongest of the entirety of the movie. Everything that takes place within the house I found very underwhelming. I don't think the traps are substantial enough. I don't feel like anything that actually happens throughout the house has any worth in terms of getting to the closing credits of the movie because it all feels very coincidental for it to get to that point. It has to happen that way. And there's so many deciding factors along the way to get there that I find it a really hard pill to swallow. Like the end game was the plan all along. So yeah, in terms of the writing, there's a lot of stuff about it that I like, but there's also such a disappointing side to it, especially when you're coming in after the amazement that was the original Saw movie. I don't feel like the writing team lived up to following through with the second. And I know that's because this movie was greenlit and rushed into production before even the first one hit cinemas, I think. Just due to test screenings and stuff, they knew they were onto something. I think Saw 1 came out in Halloween, and then the following Halloween we got Saw 2, and I think that was an ongoing tradition for about 7 years before they took the hiatus and come back with another one. So there wasn't a lot of time in between the first and the second to flesh out the script well enough to give us something that I feel like the first movie deserved in terms of following on the story. There's certainly glimmers of hope within the script. There's some stuff that I do really, really like, especially diving into the John Kramer story aspect a lot more and giving us the backstory to his character that made him be who he is. It's certainly handled a lot better in Saw X than it is in Saw 2, but for what we do get in Saw 2, I do appreciate those moments within this film. The traps are really underwhelming. And again, a lot of the stuff that I'm saying and nitpicking at is all done in hindsight and in rewatch 20 years later from when this movie came out. It's at the time of release, I really liked it. I thought it was fucking amazing. It blew my mind. But now with everything that's come after it and what we do get in horror these days, to go back and watch something like this, it very much feels like a product of its time. I'm really not a big fan of the editing techniques used in this movie. And again, products of its time. And it's that whole music video MTV era filmmaking that we got in the mid 2000s that was just everywhere. And I know I've already said why I thought it was utilized very well in the first movie. And then they took the notes from that and just implemented them wrong here. and then it just became a gimmick, and it was just a filming technique that became associated with the Saw movies going forward. I don't know. I don't know where I am with this, because as a nostalgia standpoint, I really always think that I like Saw 2 up until the point when I rewatch it. And I know, give this another 6 months, I'm going to be sat there thinking, I actually quite like Saw 2. And then I'll put it on again and I'll be disappointed by my rewatch, just like I have been this time around. It's a 2.5 out of 5. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not good. It's just very mediocre at best. I can't compare it to a lot of the other Saw movies because, again, I've seen Saw 1, 2, 3 and Saw X. I know they go in a wild direction, but this is, out of the 4 that I've seen, this ranks 3rd, which doesn't say a lot for the films that I have seen in this franchise anyway. But yeah,
if you'd seen the others, this would still rank 3rd.
Oh, that's okay then. All right, so good to know that I'm in the right place with it.
Yeah.
No, I understand the market for it, and I understood the market for it when all these films were coming out. Like, as a horror fan, I was just never on that hype train every Halloween to go and see the latest Saw movie. They're not my cup of tea. It was that's the thing. It was about that same time period where we got so many fucking sequels to Final Destination. I liked the first Final Destination movie. I was okay on the second movie. Similar to this, I liked the first Saw movie. I was okay on the second movie, but it was just not enough to make me want to go back each year to watch the follow-on and the extended and the diluted and convoluted stories that go on to make all these sequels. I'll get round to them, but watching this again for this episode, it's going to be a long time before I dive into Saw 4. I'm going to be honest with you.
If it makes you feel any better, to get the full lore of Saw, there's 2 video games that live within the lore as well that cover characters.
I had the PS3 one, which was quite good.
Yeah, I can't remember which game it is, but one of the games, Tap, who survives in the first one, commits suicide in one of the games, and that then becomes a plot point in one of the later movies. So
you actually have to play the game in order to keep up with the cinematic universe?
You don't. They mention it in the movie, but that happened in the game. So if you want to see how that all plays out, you have to play the Saw game where you go around and do the traps and get to that.
I remember it being very fucking annoying. It was just a game where you walk from room to room and then you had to do like combinations on the keypad and like roll the analog stick in a certain direction or the trap set off. It was tedious as shit. I remember that much, but it was quite good in terms of the aesthetics of it and lining up with the cinematic universe. At that point, I can't say I probably paid much attention to the storyline of the game. I was just wanting to see heads get in traps and shit.
Yeah, there's a couple of good VR sort of interactive videos that I've done not that long ago where you basically walk through the warehouse and the whole thing is to avoid pig mask person. They're good. And you sort of you're ambling down a corridor and like you've got a light flickering and then you've got a bit where there's no light and then there's another light flickering. You're like, oh, that motherfucker's in the dark spot. You get to the dark spot and you're like, oh, they're not here. And then you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you turn around to like just check behind you. And when you turn around, they're like fucking here. And it's like, it almost does like that Five Nights at Freddy's like noise. The pigs there like, wee! Like, they're quite cool, but they're just videos. Like you don't have control over kind of what's going on. It's kind of like you're just there and you're in the moment, but they're quite good if anyone's got a VR. Becky, where are you with this?
Probably kind of just going to repeat some that Mark's just said. When I first watched it and it first came out, I do remember enjoying it and really liking it. But yeah, on rewatches after, there's not really any likable characters. All the camera work and the editing is awful. I don't like it at all. I really didn't care if anybody lived or died. I wasn't invested in any of them. And the traps I thought were really disappointing. But again, I think that's, like you say, comparing it to what comes after as well, because they go nuts. But I do like the end. I like the big reveal. And I like the whole John Kramer kind of, when he's talking about immortality, and basically immortality is legacy. and that obviously Amanda's going to continue his legacy by continuing his work. I liked all that. But obviously that was like all the last 5 minutes of the film when all it all just came out. But so yeah, I probably won't watch it again.
Where would you score it?
It's got to be in the middle, like a 2.5. You do out of 5?
Yeah,
out of 5.
2.5 out of 5 in the middle.
Okay. So you and Mark are both the same. And also, I can't help but notice that Tiffany picture behind you is fucking amazing.
I know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, yeah.
That's I was noticing that while you were talking, and I'm like, that is so cool. For me, this is a good sequel to the original. It continues on with the story. It expands on the lore of John Kramer, the lore of the traps, the history behind him. It brings back Shawnee Smith, who was in the original Bear Trap movie as Amanda. Like, I like this story of this. I think it's very well written. As I said, everything ties back to each other. And as shit as the Saw movies get later on, the actual writing of them and the tying everything back together is always very clever, and it's always very watertight. The issues I take with this are very similar to Mark. It's for this to play out as it needs to. It is like a billion to one shot that everything lands exactly how it should. For at the end, John Kramer to go, do you know what? I'm fucking clever, and I let all that panned out exactly how I knew it would. I take issue with that. I also take real issue with Donnie Wahlberg in this. I just do not think he was the right guy.
I do. I like him. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad actor. I just don't think he's the right guy for this. He doesn't. Let's be honest. If you put Donnie Wahlberg and Mark Wahlberg next to each other, Mark Wahlberg carries all the presence, all the power, all the delivery, and Donnie Wahlberg is just his brother who kind of looks the same. Like he was there because they couldn't afford Mark Wahlberg, and I really get that. I think they absolutely wasted Dina Meyer in the franchise, in this movie in particular. Like, a bigger twist and a better twist for me would have been her being Jigsaw's apprentice and Amanda thinking she was the one, and at the end it'd be Dina Meyer that turns up and, I don't know, something really basic, slits her throat and then takes the mantle. Like, I'd have loved to have seen that. The flash cut editing has dated so badly. That MTV, like, it looks awful now. And the freeze frames and the slow-mo, I hate slow-mo. I hate freeze frames. You get these like fucking almost like epileptic fit flash cuts followed by a slow-mo of them going, oh, and then it freeze frames. You're like, the fuck are you doing? It's all like, I played with video effects. It's almost like they're going, let's try this one. Let's try that one. That one's cool. Look, we can freeze it. Let's freeze it. We're going to do that for every kill because that looks great. And it just doesn't work for me. It's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie. I think I like it a bit better than both of you. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I'd recommend people, if you haven't seen it, it's worth watching. Like, if you haven't seen it, where have you been? Like, how have you not seen this?
I think that's it with this kind of scoring of this type of movie. Is like, there's a lot of obscure movies that we do, and we always feel like we have to sort of base our score on sort of like not deterring people away from the experience, because people have different experiences to what we have when watching a film. But I feel like with this, we can be just straight up, no, everyone's seen Saw 2, so this is kind of where we're at with it.
Yeah, and if you haven't, give it a watch, because on a first watch, some of the reveals will be like, shit, oh man, like, you're going to get that from this movie. Becky, it is time for you to get on your soapbox, climb as high, get your big megaphone and sell yourself, sell your page, sell the Girl and the Gay podcast, tell everyone where to find you, and just basically whore yourself out to all of our listeners and get them to come and follow you.
All right, pimp.
Yeah. do not refer to me as a pimp. I am a pimp pimping out podcast shows. I'm a podcast pimp. In fact, that may become my new nickname, Podcast Pimp.
Yeah.
Only self-proclaimed, mate. You don't.
So you can find me I'm only on Instagram. Well, I do TikTok, but I'm not on there very often. So Instagram's the best one to find me. This Girl Loves Horror, where I do my movie reviews, mostly horror. Sometimes I'll throw, if I've watched something good and it's a different genre, I'll just throw my thoughts out on that anyway. And you'll be able to see some of my collection that I share and my physical media. And also, I'm, as Scott mentioned, co-host on the Girl and the Gay podcast. So you can find us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple, and we're a movie and now TV podcast. But we cover all genres, and we've just finished a TV show, thankfully. And the next one we're going to be starting is Stranger Things, back to season 1. So yes, we've got a few horror movies in a row as well at the moment coming up. So, and a few great guests, including Mark himself.
You said that and gestured towards Mark, so you've got some great guests and Mark. Mark turns up too. Your show is really good. I love your show, and I love the fact that you do something that most other shows don't do, because it takes a lot of time, and that is TV series. Like you've done Safe, which you've just finished. I quite liked Safe. I appreciated it for what it was, and I really I like Michael C. Hall. And listening to you and Jay at that final episode, you're like, oh, it's over. It's finally over.
It was. I really liked it when I first watched it, which is why I did put it in a poll to help me decide, but that's why I threw it in there, because I remember it being a good show, but breaking it down.
I was gonna say,
every other week, like binge watching it, great. But yeah, talking about it stretched over weeks and weeks. I was just like, okay, I'm done with this.
I think that's the kind of risk you run when you do a podcast regarding TV shows, because you always get those filler episodes and stuff like that. And when you hit a week of a filler episode and you know you've got to talk about it for however long the length of the episode is, it can make it a grueling experience, which I'm sure the listeners love. But for you, it can ruin a show.
And honestly, like, listeners are funny. Like, I listen to your show, and I'll be honest, I take the most pleasure in your show when Jay is angry, annoyed, pissed off, bored, any of
He's
those.
Always like that.
Yeah, but I love it, because when he is really bad, Becky is like she's like a person with a stick. And he's like, oh yeah, I didn't like this. And Becky like jab him and go, well, I really like this bit. And she does it just to get a reaction. It's the most entertaining shit to listen to. It's so good. Speaking of TV series, if you do want to go and follow us on YouRun, on Patreon, patreon.com/YouRun podcast, we are about to do our YouRun extra episode, which has a surprise of a TV series.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And that's
next time.
All you are getting. But make sure you go and follow Becky, This Girl Loves Horror, on Instagram. Follow her there. You can get all of the links to all of us other stuff there. In this episode, I'll put a link to the Girl and the Gay podcast. You can also find the Girl and the Gay podcast at yourunpodcast.com, where you can find all of the other shit and our merch shop, which no one visits, but it's there if you want to. And that kind of brings an end to this episode. We're going to be back next week with Bring Her Back, and I know lots of people are listening to this going, it was meant to be Bring Her Back this week, but long and short of it, me and Mark are bad at scheduling things, and we scheduled something and then went, oh fuck, that doesn't work. Oh shit, we need to shuffle the schedule around now. So anyone who is expecting Bring Her Back, that is next week. We haven't forgotten. But yeah, until then, have a wonderful week. A huge thank you to Becky for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been brilliant.
You're welcome. Been a pleasure to have you.
With the quiz.
Yeah. The thing is, wear that like a badge of honor, because unlike lots of people who come on who bottle it and leave, you went through and went, you know what? No, I'm going to go for it. So wear that as a badge. You were brave. You were not a coward. But until next time, remember, if you're doing something that's bad, or even if you're not, John Kramer may be watching and he may be coming to get you because he's a serial killer and does not deserve any of your defense, you crazy ass motherfuckers who keep defending him online. Anyway, bye.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
You want to die tonight?
Jokes you tell sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. You run podcasts, horror movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. Thank you for taking us on this chilling ride, when nightmares roll free and comedy collide. With your podcast we laugh and cringe, but your content is so good we can't help but binge. You run podcasts.
Always two. There are a master and an apprentice.